Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am excited. I'm very excited. Okay, so the gaming world is starting to collapse. The news is dry. The games are slowly fading away. And 2019 looks to be the climax of this generation, besides Ghost of Tsushima and Death Stranding. Kind of following my video just the other day with the announcement of no PlayStation experience happening, I've been scratching my head, alright, heavily as to just wondering what's going on with Sony. Because after that announcement happened, there's just been this huge outbreak of PS5 talk. And at first, I was extremely on the opposite side. I'm like, chill, guys. But ever since that news, happened, I've been really thinking, and I think I understand it now. I think I'm more so, taking in this situation. As it is now, I'm almost entirely on the ship that Sony has already begun heavy preparations for the PS5. Patcher himself, the original man behind saying the PS5 is releasing between 2019 and 2020, even says he doesn't believe that the PSX cancellation is due to PS5 reasons. But at the end of the day, there just isn't that much to talk about. He says that it's due to money-saving reasons, and I think that's where he's spot on. PSX 2017, useless, bro. Useless. I even forgot about that. That's the biggest thing. So you take in consideration a year later, and they've showed us, everything into an extent that they want to show us right now. So then what else do you talk about? Are you going to announce new things? At this rate, maybe not, maybe not. But obviously, Sony is not just sitting there, picking their butts. You know what I'm trying to say? They're obviously doing something, and that's preparing for the PS5. So without getting too deep into that talk, I now firmly believe that the PlayStation 5 will be shown next year. And so with that being said, it's time to expand upon the theories and predictions that I've been making for the past, month or two now. So whether you're new or a subscriber that has not watched my videos in a little bit, I've had a series of videos talking about how I believe the PlayStation 5 will be having some sort of companion. The first video I made was just me kind of saying that the potential is there and it makes sense, but it would be tricky. And then after the leak of Microsoft's next gen revealing to be a family of consoles, aka a home console and a portable streaming device, I knew 100% that I've been going in the proper direction. But why? Okay, why is a portable device made for more so portability logical? Okay, so based off my previous videos, which I will just direct you to go watch them to get the full story, we already know that Kodera, Sony Corp CEO, is interested in the portable aspect, okay? And Nintendo has proven that it's a very positive addition. And the Vita has also proved another two separate things. One being managing two systems for Sony is not easy. As you know, the Vita had a fairly strong start. Let's not downplay that. I've been preaching that for the past few months now. It had a strong start with ambitious titles like Gravity Rush, Soul Sacrifice, Killzone. But after that, and sales not meeting what probably they were expecting with these ambitious things, they slowly began diminishing that support. And once the PS4 came out, it was basically non-existent. And the second thing that we've learned is having to split up your studios into handheld and home console, developers, it's not the best, it inhibits your first party output in half. If you notice, once Sony stopped altogether caring about the Vita in terms of first party, they were able to pump out way more first party titles. Not exactly AAA, but someone like Japan Studio, who kind of was in charge of Vita stuff, started pumping out AA's. And so with that, they just had this large influx of a variety of titles just coming out. So if you're still interested in this portable aspect, the only logical move to make is to not split it up. What I mean by that is make it so when a studio creates one game, you simply have just two options to play it, whether it's on this device or on a main TV. So before I bring up this next segment, I guess you could call it, let's just say, I just want to say, fuck Resetera, okay? If you follow me on Twitter or you're in my Discord, you'll understand fully why I'm on a Resetera movement. Anyways, on this cursed website, I hate it, but an interesting post was brought to my attention. A user named Rabbit Peached, who's, as you can see, is banned right now. Who knows why? Screw this website. Says, my speculations, back in February 16, 2018. PS5 will be announced mid-March 2019. A full reveal at E3 2019. More powerful than Xbox One X. Fully backwards compatible with PS4 games. Even with enhancements on certain titles, the biggest change will be the controller, which will split in two and act as a motion controller for PlayStation VR 2. There is also a small screen that the split controllers can be attached to for remote play, not included with console. That's big. Trophies, unlock prizes now, but not clear on details, whatever. First off, he says speculation, but he says so I'll get into it, but he's a very fishy speculation guy. Shut up, bro. Anyways, the last thing he points out is, on a side note, because the other stuff is kind of, we don't care about that stuff, but he says, on the side note, there will be a PS1 Mini, just like the SNES Mini released in 2019, but you will be able to download extra titles into it through PSN. PRICEY, he says. That's my pure and total speculation. Rabbit Peach, I don't know who you are, but I'm on to you, man. Anyways, before I get too deep into everything he said, let's just take it slow. Mid-March 2019 announcement for a PlayStation 5 with an actual reveal at E3. Could happen, okay? Could not, whatever. We're not that stressed. I'm pretty sure it's coming. If the reveal is coming in 2015. Backwards compatible with PlayStation 4. Also makes sense. If this thing is coming in 2019, then stuff like Death Stranding and Ghost of Tsushima will really need something like this to be available, okay? Because if it's stuck only on PS4 and you can't play anything PS4 games on PS5, that's going to inhibit its sales. So once he gets onto this controller split part is where shit gets real. The biggest change will be the controller, which will split in two and act as a motion controller for PSVR 2. There is also a small screen that the split controls can be attached to for remote play, and it is not included with the console. The thing with this quote-unquote speculation is it aligns way too much with the handheld looking device that they trademarked back in 2017. My last video on this topic, I highlighted that again and brought it into main light. So if you want the full details of it, watch that video. But if you look at the blueprint, the things on the side, they look like half DualShocks, and they look like they can be detached and attached. I don't know what it is, but people love to dismiss this blueprint, despite Sony's words literally telling us that this is something that they're interested in. You know, I know the factor comes into play that yes, a lot of trademarks get posted and all that type of deal, but not all of them go through. That's fine, but listen, if they're talking about it, keep talking about portability, then what is this? You know what I'm trying to say? And it just adds up too much. Now think of this. Think about this, guys. Remote play. During the initial drop of support for the Vita by Sony, they began sort of pushing this remote play agenda, if you guys remember correctly. They kind of stopped advertising the Vita as a handheld device itself, but more so a remote play device. And if we're being honest, bro, this is a powerful feature, bro. Like, you can play your full PS4 games on the go. All you need is Wi-Fi, you know? And it's like, that's a powerful feature. They had big plans to make this work with the PS3, but it was way more ambitious than they initially suspected. So they had to kind of move it, and they made it a point for it to work on the PS4. And with this being said, I'm thinking that this was more of a test. Really test out the feature, get it working, you know? But past its good efficiency, it worked nicely, whatever, the biggest issue was the lack of buttons. But with this detachable feature, we're taking our full PlayStation 4 controller, okay, and detaching it. So now we're gonna have every single button available on our DualShocks, making this experience flawless. And you know the best part from Sony's eyes it barely cost any money to do, you know? One, they already have this technology created. The PS4 does more of the streaming work, so this device doesn't need much manpower at all. And secondly, on that same note, the PS5 is about to be leaps and bounds more powerful, so this experience is gonna be, could be, or whatever, is gonna be expanded upon tenfold, gonna get, you know, just more features, more things are gonna be able to be done with it. It's gonna be, it just sounds way too perfect. So that's the first thing with this device. It's going to be a monster at remote play. It's going to play all your PS5 games no matter what, okay? This removes the need for another studio developing for your dedicated device. And so what's the second feature? PlayStation Now. You not only can enjoy your native PS5 games on a handheld device, but you can also stream PS4, PS3, PS2, and PS3 games on this device. And of course, with backwards compatibility on PS5, you can also play PS4 games there, but the new thing is being able to play anything from PS3 and down. So real quick, let's talk about it, because yes, I could say all this, but you know, I guess this guy's post sort of really put this thing in perspective. But the reason why I just am gravitating towards what he's saying is because of his factor of predicting the PS1 Mini. On a side note, there will be a PS1 Mini, just like the SNES Mini released in 2019, but you will be able to download extra titles into it through PSN PRICEY. This was said in February 16th, 2018. So obviously some of his details aren't exactly accurate. One, this is releasing on December 10th, 2018, but let's not act like that's not that far off, firstly. And then the second thing he's not exactly, you know, accurate on is the idea of downloading new games. Shuhei Yoshida has said that the 20 games that it comes with will be all you get. No additions are possible to be made. And so to wrap up this video, I think the last thing to talk about is the whole idea of where he said the controllers will be made for PlayStation VR 2. Now, something like this I'm not 100% on, but I can really see it being their end goal. You know, whenever they first reveal this thing in the PS5, they might not talk about it at all, you know, the PSVR 2 type of deal. But this is one of those things where they're implementing for the future reference, in a sense. They're killing two birds with one stone, you know? So the idea is, one, if you even have a VR right now, you know, maybe these controls will be compatible with PSVR 1. So right off the bat, everyone that buys a PS5 can use, you know, VR. And so with that also being said, if you get, whenever the 2 comes out, all you have to do is buy the actual system, you know? So of course, if you don't have a PS4, then yeah. But you buying a PS4 gives you a controller, 2 controllers for the Move reasons and stuff like that. But again, this is not something that I could talk about. I don't really know, but it would kind of make sense in a way, you know? So that's that. But all in all, I think with these details, obviously some things may not be correct, but I have no doubt in my mind, based off of the trademark, based off of this potential person that's leaking stuff, you know, I think that these details are spot on. The idea is there. Mid-March, we'll see, you know, just to talk about, you know, we'll see. But other than that, that's all I gotta say. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Whew, boy, I'm very excited. I'm excited. I was not that excited for, not saying I wasn't that excited for PS5, but you know, it's just more of one of those things where I just want to wait and see what they can present to me to get excited. But with just this information, I'm already excited because I can't wait to have a dedicated full button remote play to play all my PS5 games in my bed, in a different room, you know, all that type of stuff. So, like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And other than that, I will be there. I will see you guys. I was gonna say I'll be in the comments, but anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Why these niggas always trying to move when I move? You can't keep up with the pace. Please don't try to make room. Playing Switch all in your face. I can't see what you do. I'm not finna run.